Welcome to this very late night Gator stream for Splatoon 2. No Splatfest this time around, we're just doing this for fun because we love Splatoon. And today, as usual, I'm joined by a very special guest, so...
Hello, it's me.
Yep. Hi-oh. And he has no name.
Oh, it's hi, sorry. I'm awake, I swear. I've only been awake for 5 hours today. It's fine.
So we were going to stream yesterday for Mary Day, because that's a Splatoon thing, but, like, we decided last minute we didn't feel like it, so we're going to stream today instead, which kind of works out, really, because today is Pi Day, because it's 314 and stuff.
Oh, it is. I forgot about that. I almost slept through it.
They have a whole day named after you and you sleep through it. That's just the best way to celebrate.
Oh, I'm tired. Leave me alone.
So, do you want to do regular battle or a summon run or something like that?
Up to you.
Alright, kinda don't want to do turf war because Port Mackerel's in there, but it's probably the most basic one to play right now, so we can do that.
Okay. You want to make a lobby?
Yeah.
What are the current Grisco weapons?
It's been forever. How do I set up lobby?
Yeah, they're not bad weapons. They're not the best, but... Wait, did I just...
Into the regular battle thing.
Oh, no. Okay.
No, it filled up!
I'll just join friend.
Ew, Port Mackerel barf. Okay, my audio was way too loud. Alright, there we go. Yay, editing on the stream. Oh! That sniper got me right when I looked back at the TV. Okay, so, yay, Splatoon. Dead on Splatoon 3. Let's talk about that. Okay, so for those of you who may be new to these streams, one thing very worth mentioning is that because of how our OBS settings work, my commentary might be a few seconds ahead of the gameplay. There's not much I can do about that, but
Mine is
hopefully
going to be many seconds ahead because I didn't mess with the settings at all. Be glad that you can actually see it.
You can see the gameplay, and that's good enough.
Yeah. If it bothers you that much, just open the stream in 2 different windows and have your audio one be slightly behind the video in a different window. It'll be fine.
The first time I ever did a console game stream, okay, this is very stupid, but there was a smartphone app that I was playing with, because that's what I was going to use to stream my time at PAX East 2018, and I used that phone camera to stream Rocket League on Switch in handheld mode. The quality was garbage.
It'd be nice if Nintendo would give us a better way to be able to stream Switch games.
Yeah.
But they're probably not going to.
Even if they did, I think this is the case with PlayStation and Xbox as well, but I believe on those systems they have limitations as well, because I know for a fact that Final Fantasy VII Remake, you can't use that to stream, like, the ending of the game, for example. there was a point in time where Screenix was actually trying to sue people who were uploading the ending to Southern Remake.
Yeah, that's the main reason why Sakurai didn't really put more cutscenes into Smash games, because he didn't like that people uploaded them on YouTube from Brawl.
Mm. Yeah. That kind of frustrated me, and it kind of felt a little hypocritical, because he didn't have story in Smash 4 because he didn't want it spoiled online, but then he had those Xenoblade trophies that spoiled like half the first game.
Yeah.
We lost. Yeah, let there be a pie. Let there be a pie. Yay, there's a pie!
Why am I always the highest level person? Always.
The highest level person in Splatoon history.
No. That'd be 99 star, and there's lots of people who are that. But whenever lobby I'm in, I'm always the highest level player in it. Okay, we're on the same team, so I can't murder you.
We're on each other's team.
With TK19 and Nikki.
Nikki sounds like a Nopon name from Xenoblade. I'm sorry, I have Xenoblade on the mind. I've been playing through Definitive Edition a lot lately.
Okay, this is my first Splatoon battle since Mushroom versus Star. As much as I love this game, it is still a bit tiring to just do the same thing in it over and over and over, when there's not really much left in the game. I mean, pretty much the only thing left in the game is just leveling up to 99 star. Other than that, there's nothing to work towards.
It wasn't until very recently that I upgraded all the weapons in Octo Canyon.
No, I've already done all that. I did that a long time ago, and I've bought every single item in the game. It's like the money counter just keeps going up, and I have nothing to spend it on because I've already got everything in the game.
Yeah. I never had that much of a desire to buy all the stuff in the shop, because I probably could easily do that, but at the same time, I don't want to do the effort.
I would just buy whatever was in the shop every day, back when it was first launched and I was playing it. I would just buy the entire daily rotation, and if I didn't have enough money, I would play until I had enough money and then just buy it all.
Yeah.
There's probably like one or two things that I don't have just because they've never showed up in my shop. But, like, I honestly doubt it.
There's also a few pieces of gear that you can only get through the Switch Online app.
I have those. No, the only things that I don't have are the Japan exclusive Kurokoro magazine items, the golden toothpick, and that's it. I have all the amiibo stuff. Everything else.
Yeah. I don't hear people talk about this one a lot, but one of my favorite armor that you can get, one of my favorite pieces of armor you can get is the cute little dress that you get with the Octoling Girl amiibo. That dress is just so cute.
Oh yeah, the witch dress.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. I'm so excited for Splatoon 3 that all the clothes are going to look the same.
Yeah, Splatoon 3!
Okay. That's like the bit that I'm most excited for, is that I can put any hairstyle on any character and any clothes on any character. It's going to be amazing. Oh man, they just told us.
So what big things would you like to see in Splatoon 3?
I don't know. I want apartments a lot. Just something else that you can just sink money into for no reason other than that it's fun. Just because with this one and the previous one, pretty much the only thing to buy was clothing and weapons. And, like, if you have all of them, then you have all of them. And sure, with, like, a room, like, eventually you could probably buy everything for that, too. But it just gives you a lot more creativity options because you can just move it around constantly, like Animal Crossing.
Yeah. That would be so cool to do that, because that's one thing I love about Animal Crossing is just seeing how different everybody's houses are. That'd be so cool to see that in Splatoon as well.
Like, even with the character customization, there is still a finite options for your character and everything. I mean, it's a pretty high number of combinations, but there are also some items that are pretty popular, and you tend to see a lot of them. But with a house, it's a bit different.
Yeah.
I think it'd be really neat.
Owie! So, the thing I'm curious about is whether or not Splatoon 3 is going to have 80 returning stages at all, because they already confirmed that it's a whole new area. It's not Inkopolis anymore. It's Squidsville. We spy each other at the same time. So Splatoon 1 and 2 take place where Tokyo would be nowadays, but it seems like Splatoon 3 is going to take place in Paris because you have the upside down Eiffel Tower.
Actually, what I think it is, I don't think it's Paris. Because if you look at the landscape and the mountains and such, it looks nothing like that. You know, and also, in Splatoon 1, for one of the promotional images, there's a picture of Kelly and Marie in front of the Eiffel Tower, and it's still standing.
About that, I saw something recently where somebody on Twitter was all like, Kelly, Marie, what did you do?
Yes. But here's my theory. It's a desert. It looks like a desert. It looks like Nevada. And guess where there is a second Eiffel Tower?
The small one from Las Vegas.
Exactly. It's also incredibly small in the background comparatively to the character, given how big Inklings have been shown to be when compared to things like the fossils in the museum and such.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my theory. I don't think it's in Paris. You also can't see Inkopolis in the background at all. Like in this one, you can, if you go over to the one area on the map, you can see like the outline of Inkopolis to prove that they're like right next to each other. But in that one, in none of the pictures could you see anything else. And they said that it's like really, really far away. So that would make sense.
Yeah. So that kind of makes me wonder if that means that there would be no returning stages at all. Because I think they could do that and still encourage people to still play Splatoon 2, because you'd have completely different stages between the two games. So it. Okay, I just noticed something. You're gonna love this. So one of your teammates, his name is Hannah.
Oh yeah. See this, my I don't know what the word would be. Preference, probably. My preference would be either all the stages return or none of them return. I hate this little medium where, like, say pick and choose which ones return, and some of them return but not completely and stuff. Like, I just want either put all of them in or make a whole new game from the ground up.
Yeah. The only stage that I was super bummed never returned was My Resort. But yeah, I do wish that all of them return if they're gonna go that route again.
Yeah.
One big one I hope returns is Murray Towers. That's my favorite in the series.
It's my favorite too. But a lot of them wouldn't make sense to return. Like Mako Mart would make sense to return. It's inside. The museum, probably not, but there could be another museum similar to how we have two different art schools in each game. Port Mackerel would not really make sense, but there could be an area similar to it. You know, like there could be another one that is on the rooftop of a building that's a hotel, like, I can't remember what it's called, but it's on top of a building and there's pools and stuff.
New Abacore Hotel.
Yeah, that one. There could be something similar, but not exactly the same stage. Enough that you can tell that maybe it's another Albacore hotel, like a Motel 6, but it doesn't look exactly the same and it plays differently. I think that would be really cool. But a lot of the stages for this one wouldn't make sense if you put them in the middle of a desert.
Thomas says hi in the stream chat.
Hello.
So the words are difficult. So one thing that looks really cool is that it looks like you're be able to jump to any spot you want at the very beginning of the area. So I wonder how much that's going to change the gameplay.
I think a lot of it is to reduce spawn camping. Although I'm wondering if it will show where you're going to show up, like the Inkjet does, because then it would just make spawn camping a lot easier in that sense. But if it doesn't show where you're going to be, you could do some really good sneak attacks. I wonder if there'll still be like a general area that you're allowed to jump to when you respawn. Like you can't obviously jump to the other guy's base, or maybe you can't jump within a certain distance of another player.
Yeah, it looks like, at least at the very beginning of the match, it looks like you have like one area. Basically, like your starting area is a lot bigger, it seems like.
Yeah.
So the one really cool thing that they showed is that it looks like you can now choose if you want to jump higher when you're going up walls and things like that. So that's gonna make
there's two different new squid form movements. They posted about it on Twitter, but then they took down the tweets like an hour later. But I think they're still on the official Tumblr, which is weird that Splatoon has an official Tumblr that they still update, but whatever. This game's chaotic like that.
Yeah, that's why it's perfect for us.
Exactly, yes.
So I don't know if this was intentional. I know I talked about this with you already, but I don't think I've said this on stream yet. But one of my favorite details about the announcement, so they confirmed that they confirmed how gender is going to work in the new game, because it's going to be like Animal Crossing, where it's more so based on style rather than outright asking if you'd like to be a boy or a girl or not. But a detail I really love is that the logo colors are the non-binary colors.
Yes. Okay, I'm going to say this. I think it's on purpose, because they're just slightly off the exact color drop from the flag to be not come across as intentional, but they're also far too close together to it to have been unintentional. And given that that it is the same team that worked on New Horizons, and that they are more like modern and younger developers, I think entirely possible that it's on purpose, and I think that's amazing.
Yeah, it'd be awesome either way.
It just had to have gone through too many focus groups and game testers and artists to be unintentional. Damn, they just barely beat us.
Yeah. And there's no way that they have not noticed just how massive the LGBT fan base is with Splatoon particularly. Because, like, compare this with some other Nintendo franchises, and it seems like Splatoon is really much more vocal, for lack of a better term.
Oh, yeah, totally. The community is definitely more drawn to Splatoon than they are to things like a Kirby or Mario or something.
I'm really curious why that's the case, because I probably shouldn't make a video on it, because I'm... Well,
I see, that's the thing, I don't really know. I mean, it makes sense now that it is a thing, but if I think about it, I can't even really figure it out. I mean, probably a lot of it would be like the fashion senses and stuff cross over a lot in this game with the community's fashion choices in general.
Yeah.
And just the, like, post-apocalyptic, but it's cutesy type thing that's pretty popular. I think it was just kind of a coincidence that a lot of the things that are motifs for this game happen to be popular motifs in that community. But I think it's also a really cool thing.
Yeah.
And also the general androgyny
I think it also
of the player character to begin with.
I think another big thing is that Splatoon in general just has a very friendly and welcoming fan base. Like, newcomers are always like super welcomed into the fan base. Like, I know it might be intimidating to start playing a game that's been out for a couple years, but like, it's always really nice seeing new people playing and things like that.
Yeah, and it's pretty hard to be toxic in this game. I mean, you can squid bag people after you kill them, but like the randomness of just joining a new lobby, and like if somebody sends you a friend request, they can't like put a mean message next to it or anything like that. I actually really appreciate the lack of voice chat in this game. It works in some games, but in other games it isn't as good. If you want to voice chat with your friends in it, you can just do that elsewhere, and there's no need for everybody to be a part of it.
The funny thing about that's slightly unrelated, but one of the big reasons why Among Us decided to go with the Switch first was because the console has a really terrible voice chat. They went with that because Among Us really isn't something meant to play with voice chat strangers and things like that. So.
Yeah, even the in-game chat can be a little iffy. I haven't played it in a long time. I mean, I played it for a bit when it was popular, and then it kind of stopped being as popular, so it was harder to find a lobby, and it just started to be people who were just there to troll.
Yeah, I played it like daily when it first came out on Switch and things like that, and it was fun for a while. But then other games kind of took my priority away.
Yeah. Well, I have it on Steam, not on Switch. I heard they added a new map to it, and so it might be, revisiting it in the future sometime might be fun. But again, it's one of those games that tends to get really repetitive after a while.
Repetitive kind of works for me because don't want to go too much into this because I don't talk about this much on videos, but like I'm the kind of person on the spectrum who likes repetition.
Oh yeah, me too. I like knowing what to expect. But after a while, it just kind of gets tiring. Which is why I really like Sea of Thieves, and you've probably noticed I've been playing it more than I should. But it is pretty repetitive when you get down to the basics of it. You get a quest, you go dig up the treasure, you go turn it in, and you fight stuff along the way. What makes it fun is hanging out with other people and doing stupid things like throwing a firebomb at a shark or whatever. But again, it is pretty repetitive, and eventually I know I'll put it on the back burner for a bit. Same as Animal Crossing. You play Animal Crossing non-stop every day for 8 months, and then you don't touch it for 3 years.
One game I've been playing a lot lately. Don't judge me for playing this, but I really like Dead or Alive 5. And so there'd be times where I'll have like the same two characters on the same exact stage, and I'll play for like 2 hours straight.
Yeah.
Or my crowd gross.
I'm really excited to play through a new story mode in Splatoon.
Yeah.
Because I love playing the story modes, but then once you've finished it, there is replay value. But once you've unlocked everything, that replay value kind of goes away, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Some games are just like that. But it does make me want a new story to play.
That's what I really liked about Octo Expansion was it came out at like just the right time. because, well, that's basically it. It came out just the right time to be fun and things like that. I really love the story of Splatoon 3. I'm assuming it has a story mode at all, but I really love the story of Splatoon 3 has an octo expansion structure, because I think that works really well for how Splatoon plays.
Yeah, it did. It worked amazingly well. With the hub world was a lot cooler than like jumping around between random areas. It felt more connected. The hub world felt more connected to the story rather than just like the kettles and stuff.
Mm.
And it felt more real in a sense, but also the different areas, like, they were so cool and so well designed.
I love octo expansion.
Yeah, it's so good. You're dead.
You splatted me.
Yep, you're dead now.
Another big reason why I love octo expansion is because you get to see more Marina.
I love the soundtrack for Octo Expansion as well. It's so good.
Yeah, Shark Bites is one of my favorite songs in this whole series.
I like Nasty Majesty. Just the trailer, like the discography with the imagery in the trailer was so good. Probably Octo Expansion had the best trailer of all the Splatoon franchise.
No doubt, it's so good. I still watch it.
It's just the way they walk in with like that song, it's so good.
Mm.
And the camera framing and everything, like from an artist standpoint, like it's so good.
Mm. And I would never forget that day that was announced, because the day that Nintendo Direct happened, I had a math final that I just couldn't miss. So as I was sitting there doing my boring math stuff, I was like, in the back of my mind, I knew there was a Nintendo Direct going on right now, and I was like, what's being announced right now? What could possibly be announced? Are they announcing Tokyo Mirage Sessions on Switch? Is there a new Zelda game? What is happening? So after class is over, I'm waiting for my ride to pick me up. I checked my phone to see what was announced. I see Super Smash Brothers for Nintendo Switch. I was like, what? Splatoon 2 Octo Expansion? What?
Oh yeah, level up. 39 star.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever actually watched a Nintendo Direct. I never like intentionally watch them. I just refresh Twitter after they're over to see what actually happened in it. Because let's face it, 90% of the time it's stuff that we either don't care about or we kind of knew about already, or it's just like when they announced Bayonetta 3 and then never told us any details of it except for like the logo.
Mm.
We still haven't heard more about that. We last heard about it in like what, 2018?
Yeah, sometime around there. I love Nintendo Directs because you retweeted the thing. I love Nintendo Directs because there's just something so special about being there in the moment when it's being announced. Because I remember when Tokyo Mirage Sessions was announced for Switch, that was like the big thing I was hoping would come to Switch. And when that finally happened, that was like such a magical moment. I had the biggest grin on my face, and I was so happy.
I was trying to write one of my papers for my writing class when my brother was watching the Nintendo Direct, the last one. And he comes out and he's like, "Oh, you must not have seen the Nintendo Direct yet." And I go, "Why? What happened?" He goes, "Oh, Splatoon." And my mom's like, "Don't tell her that right now." So then, of course, I completely ignored what I was supposed to be doing so that I could watch the trailer like 5 times in a row and then just... Yeah.
Yeah, like, oh man, when that trailer started, and they were like, the one more thing, I was thinking maybe it would be a Breath of the Wild 2 teaser, but then it wasn't. It was just some desert thing.
That's another thing. thing. Where's our updates on how Breath of the Wild 2 is going? Nintendo, don't just leave it out of the picture until everyone forgets about it, please. Don't make this like the Zelda game that Majora's Mask took over from, that you announced and then it never happened.
Selfish part of me hopes that doesn't come out until after the Let's Play is over. Because my Breath of the Wild Let's Play took 2.5 years to plan out. And it's currently on the 50th episode, and we're not even like a third of the way done. But at the same time, I would like it out yesterday so that I could play it right now. Yeah. They did announce Skyward Sword HD, which I'm really excited for.
I am too, because I've actually never been able to finish Skyward Sword because of the motion controls specifically, and the fact that they actually went into detail about how you don't have to use motion controls, but it will still be an option. Like, it appeased both sides of the debate. I think that was pretty good of them to include both ways to play it. And I wonder how it will affect the speedrunning community for it, because anytime that there's multiple controller configurations for a game, the speedrunning community immediately tries to figure out which one makes it so that it's faster to play, which one has the most glitches, etc. So I'm wondering how that will be affected. But yeah,
they're probably gonna. They'll probably change a few things with the game, but I love Skyward Sword. It's like my 4th favorite Zelda game, so I'd be perfectly fine if they change absolutely nothing with it. But I noticed that the eShop listing, the file size is almost double that of the Wii U listing, so it makes me wonder if they're adding some kind of big new thing, but at the same time, it might just be bigger because of the HD graphic resolutions.
Possibly. It was on the Wii U?
Yeah, the Wii U had Wii Virtual Console games.
Oh, that one, yeah. Yeah. No, odds are it's probably that, or it's probably, I would imagine, a good deal of bloatware included in it, as they try to fill up the file size for Zelda games to prevent exploitations in them.
Yeah.
Because anytime that a cartridge has open space, then you can use that open space to glitch out the rest of the cartridge, which is why a lot of older games have such weird cartridge glitches that you can do with them. It's also why the original Legend of Zelda had an entirely second campaign to it, was because they only used half the file space. They were like, let's just fill it up with stuff. But other games just put in like pictures or MP3 files and stuff that you can never actually access. They just act to keep that space.
Oh. Crash Bandicoot kind of does something similar with the original game. It's not a cartridge-based game, but they did a trick where the outside layer of the PlayStation disc spins faster than the inner layer. So they filled up the disc with a massive file size that had absolutely nothing inside it. They did that specifically so that the game itself would be pushed to the outside layer of the disc, and load times would be faster because of that.
Oh, that's cool. I know that a lot of PC games and some Xbox and PlayStation exclusive games do this as well, especially if they don't have a physical version. They won't optimize their game on purpose. They will intentionally leave it unoptimized with like a really big file size, because then if you want to delete that game, it's like 54 gigabytes, and you're like, well, I won't delete this one just yet because it'll take a while to re-download it, or you know, something like that.
Yeah.
And then it keeps you from installing a competitor's game or uninstalling the game and stop playing it. So it is a marketing scheme as well, which is stupid.
One thing I'm worried about right now with a certain project that should go unmentioned, but I'm mentioning it anyway, is that I don't want the file size to be too big, so one thing I've been trying to do is there's an object that triggers dialogue, and with an old dialogue system that I had set up, it could trigger different text depending on where you were located at. But recently, I overhauled the entire system because it just wasn't going to work in the long run. But then it also screwed over the plans I had to make it trigger differently depending on where you were. So that whole thing has to be reworked. And that was like a couple dozen lines of code that's not easy to program.
Yeah. Big manipulator, I just now saw your message. This was like a while ago. It's not just the blue and yellow, it's the purpley blue color. Yellow, white, and black are the colors, which the rest of the logo makes the white and black.
Hello. I don't know if you're still here, but hello. Big Neighbors asking if people forgot about Breath of the Wild before it released. I had that game in my mind for like 3 years straight when they first announced it at E3 2014, and it lived rent free in my brain for the entire time between that and it actually coming out.
It wasn't so much that people forgot about it, it was that the development process was taking so long with so few updates that people started to worry it would get cancelled.
Like I remember when those rumors started that it was going to also get ported to the Nintendo NX, and I was all like, "Really? It was one of the first Wii U games announced, and it might not even be on Wii U." But then later turned out that it would be on Switch and Wii U together.
Yeah.
Which, speaking of Breath of the Wild, I was playing that game earlier today to practice for a recording session, and I'm at the point right now where you're in Gerudo Town, and I just want to say for the record that Richu is the most adorable thing that's ever adorable.
Yeah, that is. She is. First two Splatoon logos had black and white too. They did. But the way that the colors are layered underneath it, the stripes line up exactly the same as in the flag. Other Splatoon games have also only had just the one color underneath the logo, and this one has two.
Yeah.
It just feels a lot more
Do you think
intentional.
Do you think that might be hinting that if there are new idols in that game, do you think that might be hinting that they might be non-binary, or do you think they'll still be girls?
I would personally love a masculine aligned idol in the new one, which the community kind of seems to be divided on it, because some people think that means you're like taking away a position from a girl, and like there aren't enough girl leads in video games as it is. But like a completely non-threatening like male character like would be really cool, because that is another thing that's not exactly really represented.
I'm sure if they are new idols, I'm sure everyone's going to love them no matter what. Personally, I still kind of hope that they stay with the tradition they've been going with, and that the idols are girls too. But at the same time, I'm sure the characters will be fine no matter what.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I do hope that the Squid Sisters and Off the Hook do return, because like everybody loves them. It'd be kind of silly to just not have them appear at all.
Yeah. I'm interested to see what their new designs will be, like their outfits and stuff, because like Callie and Marie got new designs for this game. So like I'm wondering if they're back, like what would their designs in that be? And then like Pearl and Marina, like are they gonna be like washed up celebrities or something, or like what is it gonna be? Because yeah, I'm just excited.
Yeah, I can't wait to see Miranda too.
I saw this concept art for what Pearl would look like in the desert, and it was like super cool. Like she had like really choppy hair, and like it was really really cool, just in general.
Yeah.
If I can find it again, I'll link it to you later.
Alright. Oh no, I got splatted. I think we did it.
Hello, Odd, Annika, and Blue Slushy. How are you guys doing?
Hello.
So for anybody who missed out on the beginning of the stream, whoops, the chat audio is slightly ahead of the game footage and audio because of the way that the capture card works. And that might be something to do about that, but I don't know. Oh, the rotation. The maps rotated. The rotations didn't map. The maps rotated. Let me see if I can get another XP up ticket. No, I can't. But I can get this one.
My capture card does that too, but my stream's setup, I use OBS, and there's a system where you can offset the mic to the footage. So, like if I was streaming this by myself, then I could offset it by 2160 milliseconds, and that would usually line it up perfectly. But because your voice is on the same audio track as the game audio, I can't do that, because then that would just sound like we would be interrupting each other all the time.
Yeah, I just didn't want to mess around with my recording software and then have to mess around with it again next time. The fact that I haven't played this in so long that my friend that I was playing with like 2 months ago is still outside of the salmon run.
Yeah, your Octoling was still in my plaza.
It was a blizzard. Dang.
Yikes. I mean, I like snow and all, but a blizzard is a little much.
All right. Did you join a new lobby?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll join them with you. I didn't have any more XP up tickets, but I did have a coin up ticket, which I don't know why I bother with those, but also I think it'd be pretty funny to just have 99999 money. I'm actually almost there. I only need like a little bit more to get to the maximum amount of money.
That'll be your goal until Splatoon 3 comes out. Which, speaking of, so, for those of you who may not know in the audience, something really cool is that for my Let's Play going forward, Pi is going to be doing voice acting for some of the Splatfest stuff.
Yee. Oh, wow. We lost power twice. That sucks. We used to use power every time you lose power every time it snowed, because the tree was laid on the line. But then they cut the tree down, so now we don't anymore.
There was this one winter that was particularly rough where we lost power for a good while. Ah! Wait! One of the graffiti things is Mickey Mouse! Oh, that's cute! Sorry, easily distracted. So, it was bad because we lost power for a while, and I remember very vividly that we had like a very old-fashioned lamp, and that was like the only light source we had for a good solid couple days. Get back here, Inkling scum.
So I know that you already tweeted about this, but I really want to rant about it because I'm so excited that we finally opened pre-orders for my webcomic. And if I get approved, I will actually be I'll be presenting as an artist the webcomic and hopefully the physical format if they're finished by then in Rose City Comic Con in Portland this fall. It's like it's literally like the weekend before PAX. So it's gonna be chaos for that month. But if I do get accepted in, which I still haven't heard back, I probably won't for another month or so. That's gonna be so awesome. Right now the
Good luck on that. I'm really rooting for you.
Thank you. Right now the document for the book itself is at like 250 pages. The current story that I'm working on is estimated to have around 30 more pages left in it, and then we have another story after that one that we're going to work on that's going to be around 50 to 60 pages, as well as I think there's a third story we're going to try and put in it. So the estimated page count for the final thing is going to be between 400 and 500 pages, and it's going to be so cool.
Yeah, so if any viewers in the stream chat are interested, Pi's open up a Patreon, so you can get pre-orders of The Adventures of Hannah Misafe. Did I pronounce that right?
Misafe.
Misafe, sorry. I never. That's like the first time I pronounced it out loud. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to pronounce.
But yeah, pre-orders are available for that right now. # not sponsored.
I wish I could sponsor somebody to talk about it.
I guess I could also probably promote my own stuff. So at some point later this year, I also have another book that might come out eventually at some point, maybe. The last third of it is kind of complicated, so it's still hard to put together, but it's getting there. Hopefully, maybe. I did the artwork and it was awesome.
I have a really weird story.
Yeah.
So, why did I just put me back here? Stop doing that. Like half an hour before the stream started, I went down to like the local convenience store to get some caffeine because I was already feeling tired. And it's like I don't have any at home, so I'm just gonna go down there because they don't close until like 10. And today is the day I decided to dye my hair again because I like to keep it green. So I have dye in my hair and it's like wrapped up in like this weird green bun, but it's also like stiff and stuff. Like it doesn't look like hair so much as it looks like old pasta. And it's just kind of like piled on top of my head. And I just go down to the convenience store at like 9:30 at night in slippers. And the guy there, like we've interacted a few times because I tend to go to that same one because they have the code Red Mountain Dew in the fountain as opposed to regular Mountain Dew. But he goes, "Are you an artist?" And I go, "Yeah." And I'm like, not wanting to be out more than what is absolutely necessary in my current state. He goes, I run a D&D campaign, and I was trying to get some artwork done for it. And I thought that you looked like an artist type, so I figured I should ask you about it. And I'm like, yeah, I do art. I do all sorts of stuff. And he goes, cool, what's your email so I can, see about maybe hiring you? And I'm like, I swear I'm hallucinating right now, but here you go. So yeah, that was weird.
Good luck on that. I hope that works out.
Thank you. Yeah, it's just I get clients from the strangest places, but I have to say that's probably the weirdest one yet.
I mean, it could be worse. It could be some random weirdo out of college or something.
Yeah. It keeps just saying viewing results.
Big Paper says, we only have a few select clothes and weapons like Gator does. You don't need money. Yeah. When I play games like these, I usually just stick with my favorite outfit forever and weapon. Yay, you're with us!
Yay! I'm still the highest level in the entire lobby. Yeah, I've stayed with the same outfit forever. It's just I'm a bit of a completionist, so it's like, I'm not going to spend this money on anything else.
Yeah.
Okay, let me pull up my calculator. Let's see if I can type this in real quick. And see how many more coins I need to get to max.
No calculator, you have to do it in your head.
Okay, I need 327,236 more coins. And you get like 3,000, you get like 3,000 coins for winning a battle, roughly. So divide that by 3,000, and that's 109 battles. If I win
Let's
them
do
all.
it!
Not right now, but like, that's certainly reasonable. I've actually never seen anybody hit the maximum money level, like, post about it online or anything. I know that there probably are other people who have done it, because it's not that hard. But I see more people posting about hitting the maximum level rather than maximum money amount. Annika's glad it wasn't the chemicals talking. Well, chemicals talk all the time. What are you talking about? I need my red dye number 40.
What's it like dyeing your hair?
It just feels like you put shampoo on it, but then you don't rinse out the shampoo for a while.
Oh, okay. I don't think I could do that.
The bleaching process is more difficult than the actual dye process. I just didn't need to re-bleach my hair this time. Although I really do need to redo my roots, because at this point they're not roots, it's actually just 4 inches of hair at the top. That's super dark brown. The bleaching process can actually hurt. Like, it feels it actually does heat up on your scalp, and it kind of feels like burning, but like a weird chemical burn, because it is a weird chemical burn. And if you let it touch your skin, then it hurts a whole lot.
Yeah.
You actually don't have to leave the dye on your hair for very long. Like, the package only says like a half an hour. I just leave it on until, like, from when I wake up until when I go to bed, then I take it out, because it lasts a bit longer if you do it that way.
I don't think I'd ever dye my hair because I really like my natural shade, but at the same time, I've just one of those things I'm always curious about.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's one thing I'm really curious about, but I know that I'd never do this, but I also don't know anybody else who would ever try this. So, you know those, what do you call them? You know those sweaters that are like crop top things?
Oh, yeah.
How warm would that actually keep you? Because, yeah, it's a sweater and all, but like half your torso would still be not wrapped up and stuff.
Probably not very much, because it's not keeping your core warm.
Mm.
Like, it'd probably keep you about the same warmth as, like, a long sleeve shirt or something. It's just aesthetic, it's not practical. If you wore it over, like, a shirt, then it would keep you warm.
Yeah. That is one style that I like, having something like that, but an undershirt under it. Um, I don't know that much about fashion, but that's one style that I think looks kind of cute.
Yeah, it is cute. Looks like she says she always wanted to dye her head red, but she can't have both a dye and a perm. Yeah, I've never had a perm before. Oh, it's 53.6 versus 35.6. That's funny. I've never had a perm before. I mean, I've curled my hair sometimes, but it, like, stops being curled in, like, an hour. But that would make sense, because of the amount of damage that it can do to your hair. You could try, like, if your hair is light enough, you can just try, like, temporary dyes, like the kind that you just spray in, or, like, hair chalk or something.
If Bayonetta dyed her hair, do you think that would affect her summon?
I don't know. They'd probably just dye her summon as well. Because it's made out of hair, right? So it would just, like, her whole outfit would be a different color too, though. Like, if she dyed her hair, like, pink, then her outfit would be pink. Because her outfit's made out of hair. She's not actually wearing clothes.
Yeah,
it's kind of gross.
She's kind of naked.
When you think about, like, the texture of that up against your skin, it's kind of gross feeling.
Bayonetta is one of those characters where I don't care who you are, she's your waifu. Everybody loves her.
Oh yeah, Bayonetta is so cool. Part of what makes her cool, though, is that she's also a well-rounded character with her own traits. Like, has her own storyline.
Yeah, she's
really.
She's definitely one of the. She's definitely one of those characters who, one of her main character traits is definitely that she is sexy and all, but that's not her only defining trait, and I think that's what makes her really stand out against other characters, in that same style as well. Because yeah, Bayonetta's.
Like, she doesn't have a whole lot of a storyline outside of what it has to do with, like, Pit and Hades and such.
But that right there, Palutena also, she has a very fun personality as well. Like, she's very playful and kind of mischievous to Pit and things like that.
Oh yeah,
so that's one reason.
We just never get to see any development of her character outside of the other characters. Most of them are male. She definitely has a well-rounded character design and personality, but we never get to see any character development throughout the game.
I think character development, in terms of Splatoon, I think that's another big reason why Marina's my favorite Splatoon character, is that she has the most interesting backstory, because you see in the stories that she was there during the Calamari incantation during the first game, and over time we get to hear more about how her life was completely transformed and she moved to Inkopolis. She learned how to speak the Inkling language from Pearl and things like that. And, like, she has such an interesting character history, on top of being just really fun and being the best waifu.
Yeah, she's pretty awesome. Yeah, like, I love Pearl's, like, character design and, like, her attitude and stuff, but her backstory is just kind of, she's the rich kid, and, like, that's it. It definitely has its comedic effects, but it's not exactly relatable or well-rounded or anything.
You want to hear something funny that I found out yesterday?
What?
So, the next Splatfest episode that comes out on Tuesday. So that's Fork versus Spoon. The Japanese version of that was this promotional Splatfest for a Japanese candy thing, and okay, it's gonna bother me. What's it called again? I'll look it up after the match. But it's like this candy thing, and during their conversation, Pearl's asking Marina, I was just asking this, but why is all the candy in the dressing room just this one style? And then apparently the people who work in the dressing room were specifically requested by Marina to not feature the candy that Pearl's team's representing. Specifically because Marina tried eating one, but it looks like Pearl's head, so she refuses to eat it.
Oh, yeah, it wasn't it the Meiji Chocolate versus Bamboo Shoot chocolates?
Yes, that one.
Yes, yeah, the chocolate rooms, yeah. Pearl has a very big round head. I've had both of those. I had them when I was in Japan, and I miss being able to just go buy them. But the chocolate,
so jealous.
They're like a sweet biscuit with like milk chocolate and then a drizzle of like dark chocolate over the top of that in like a mold to look like a mushroom. They're pretty good. The bamboo ones they have more of like a wafer inside of them, and they're like a bit more crumbly, and they have a different texture. I like them both. If I had to pick one, I'd pick the mushrooms just for the aesthetic, but probably in terms of like actual flavor, the bamboo shoots are better.
Yeah.
They also come in different flavors. Like you can get strawberry mushrooms and stuff, and they're pink.
That Splatfest was one of the repeats from the first game. So a detail I really like is that because it's a repeat on the Japanese Splatfest art for this game, Callie Murray also show up too.
Oh, cool. Hello, puppies and pizza.
Puppies and pizza. I like pizza.
Yeah, you can get the mushroom ones in America sometimes. Like there's a Asian food store that sells them, and sometimes World Market does. I've never actually seen the bamboo shoots in America before.
The funny thing is,
I brought home with me, but
a funny detail is that even though the Splatfest itself was only ever in Japan, in the Western version of the Art of Splatoon 2 book, they actually changed the name of the Splatfest to what those candies are called outside Japan.
Yeah, what even are they called? Because I just know them as chocorooms and bamboo shoots.
I'll look at my notes in a moment. I don't have them up right now. Five, four, three.
Pink ones. Yeah, they're just called Meiji chocorooms. Is there anything better than puppies and pizza? Yes. Red Mountain Dew with extra red dye number 40.
It was the Mushroom Mountain versus Bamboo Shoot Village. And in the book, they called it Choco Rooms versus Choco Cones.
Choco Cones. Yeah, I've never heard them called that before.
So every now and then when I think about the whole Splatoon 2 Let's Play, I keep wondering if I'll ever be able to do something like this again, because it took a lot of work and planning to make this Let's Play happen, and I don't know if I'd be able to do it again in Splatoon 3, but at the same time, I have ideas for how it could go bigger.
Oh, yeah?
Like one idea is that if Splatfests do return and there are international things, I was thinking that I'd stream the international Splatfests and the North American ones would be the Let's Play. But at some point, there's a limit.
Yeah. Oh, in Japan, they're called Mushroom Mountain, which is Konoko no Konoko no Yama. Oh yeah, the World Market sells them a lot. They sell a lot of cool stuff. Sometimes, like, this is a weird thing, but Spencer's actually carries a lot of Japanese candy, like, imported. Which was, like, if you think, like, where would you go to buy Japanese candy? Spencer's is not the first thing that comes to mind. But they do have these peach candies that I had in Japan that are really, really good.
At some point, I want to try square watermelon, but at the same time, I know they're super expensive, and I'm not even that big of a fan of watermelon in the first place.
They're not that expensive. It's only like 540 yen, which is like $6. Which, like, compared to a watermelon, that's kind of expensive, but in America, though, if you wanted to get it imported, yeah, that's expensive.
I want to go to Japan someday. Like, okay, so I've already mentioned how much I love Tokyo Mirage Sets, but I've also been playing Persona 5 Strikers a lot, which is also set in Japan, and just playing through it every single time, I keep thinking, man, I want to be in this place. It looks so cool.
Yeah. My goal is that I'll have saved enough money by the end of this year to go. With my best friend, hopefully. I miss Japan a whole lot. Like, actually, if I think about, like, if I could live anywhere, I would move there. But also, that's kind of not exactly... I could, but I couldn't bring my pets and stuff with me. Like, I could bring my cats, but not my fish. My fish are really important to me. Spencer's is a scary place. Yeah, it is. It really is.
And my girlfriend and I, we both have like a big bucket list of stuff we want to do when we go to Japan someday. I want to go to Tokyo Disneyland, and she wants to go to a maid cafe.
I didn't ever go to a maid cafe when I was there. I was with my dad. I went to the cat cafe, the bird cafe, and the hedgehog one. There's also an outer space themed one that I had on my list, but it was closed because I forgot what time it was when we were walking by it. It was only open in the evening, and it was like midday when we were there.
Yeah. This is a terrible idea, terrible idea, terrible idea. Ah! My entire life flashed before my eyes.
I win. When I go back this next time, assuming I get to go, I want to go to, I really want to be in the Harajuku Fashion Walk, which they have them in the fall, so hopefully there'll be one at the time when I'm there. And I also really want to go to the Osaka Aquarium, because I didn't. It was on the list, but it was one of those things that we never got the chance to do. So I really want to get to go there. And I want to go to the Morio World.
Yeah. Bye, Big Manipulator. Thank you for coming.
See ya.
Yeah. I really want to go to Super Nintendo World. Have you seen that video that super cute Toad costume character?
Yes.
It's the one that does the cute little dance. It's so terrible.
Yeah, I want to go there a whole lot. I also want to go to, like, the countryside of Japan. I went to, like, Mount Fuji, like, the farmland around it while I was going to Fuji-Q. But I want to actually go, like, just get on a train and just go to the end of the line and see where it takes me and stuff. Just kind of explore rather than actually have, like, an agenda for the day.
This one travel thingy I was reading one time was talking about how if you visit Japan and only stay in Tokyo, then you should be okay even if you don't speak a lot of Japanese. I'm not sure how accurate that is, but it was also talking about how if you want to explore outside into the countryside and things like that, then you need to really be good at conversational Japanese and
Yeah.
things like that.
Yeah, that's pretty much true. Most Japanese middle and high schools and even colleges require conversational English
Oh,
as part of it. So if you're like at a store, like most of the people there speak basic English, and what they don't speak, like you have Wi-Fi, you can just pull up the Google Translate and you can just talk directly into it and it translates in real time, which I used that a few times.
yeah.
But like in the country, like it's gonna be more older people or people who went to like a country school that didn't have that same standard. So yeah, I speak some Japanese, trying to get better at it. Lisa, she wants to go to Akihabara and go to the retro game stores. Yes, I do want to go back to Akihabara. It was so much fun. I went to Super Potato and it was amazing.
Yeah. There's this one Simpsons episode. Um, like, there's this one Simpsons episode where they're in Japan and they're trying to figure out a nice place to eat, but while they're in Tokyo, they go to the most American restaurant possible.
The most American restaurant I found in Tokyo was, I didn't eat at it, but the title of it was Old American Style Tex-Mex Mexican cuisine. So it's like Japanese restaurant with American style Mexican food.
That sounds amazing.
I didn't go to it, but it looked interesting. But stuff that is like common in America is also common in Japan, but it's different. Like Japanese spaghetti is more like, why are there two disconnects on my team? It's more like spaghetti noodles, but with like a sweet tomato sauce. It doesn't really have any spices to it. It's actually a little bit sweet. And you eat it with chopsticks.
Man, they destroyed us that match.
Oh yeah, that's just us on our team. The other two people disconnected.
Rude. That's one thing I hope they fix with Splatoon 3 is that I hope if they do a thing where if somebody disconnects from their team, it replaces them with an AI character.
That'd be
Because I know some multiplayer games do that.
I'm gonna grab a blanket while it's loading. 1 second. Okay. The episode is banned in Japan because of a part where Homer throws the Emperor into a trunk of sumo thongs. Oh my gosh. I've never really watched The Simpsons. Like, I've seen a couple episodes, but I've never sat down and watched them.
Did you ever watch SpongeBob?
Yeah.
I found out the other day that the song that plays when Man Ray has a tickle belt on, I found out that that was like an actual song from the 20s.
Really?
Yeah. It's funny because the SpongeBob Splatfest from the first game was the very first footage of a Splatoon game that I ever recorded. Because I didn't know what I was going to use that footage for, but I just wanted to record that Splatfest. And then after that, that's what gave me the whole idea to make a Splatoon Let's Play.
Cool.
And then that Let's Play ended around the same time as Splatoon 2 was coming out. So I was like working on one Splatoon Let's Play straight into the next one. And that looks like it's going to be the same case with Splatoon 3 as well. So the moral of the story is that I'm doomed to record Splatoon footage for the rest of my life, and I'm 100% okay with that.
I really do hope that Splatoon becomes one of those franchises that just sticks around down the line. Even if it is just like random spin-off games, I don't want it to just kind of die out. It would be a bit hard because it isn't the same formula as like Kirby or Mario or Zelda, where it's like just the storyline. It does have this online multiplayer aspect, which if you just have the same thing every time, eventually everyone's going to get kind of tired of it. I mean, that's why Call of Duty is stuck around, is because it sticks to the same thing. But other franchises that tried the same thing with those, first and third person shooters wasn't always successful. Normally after the second or third game, it just kind of dies down. So I really hope that after Splatoon 3, Nintendo figured out a way to keep it in the public eye.
Yeah. If you were in charge of a Splatoon spin-off, what would you do with it?
I'd probably make, like, some sort of a farming game. Because I think that would be cool, because we have seen, like, the kelp farm and such. And it would be, like, kind of rural, almost like a rice paddy type thing. I think that would be really fun. Where, like, you hear about, like, the Splatfests on the news, but you're not actually doing them. And there's, like, it's just kind of chill. Like, to contrast how upbeat the main game is.
That'd be really fun. That'd be like a Splatoon Stardew Valley or something like that.
Mm-hmm. I think that also, like, a single-player only game, where you play as, like, the somebody from the Great Turf Wars, where it's like a prequel sort of game, and it would be probably a bit more dark and gritty. Like, maybe you play as Captain Cuttlefish, or maybe you just play as a random foot soldier. But, like, based in that era, I think that would be a really cool spin-off, too.
It's funny you mentioned Great Turf War, because I was thinking it'd be cool if they had some kind of MMO based around that time frame.
That would be cool, too. I just think that if they keep trying to do all their games with the multiplayer requirement, that there won't be that ability to go back and play the games as time goes on. Like with Splatoon 1, with Nintendo upgrading to their new internet framework, Splatoon 1 is probably not going to be upgraded because the Wii U games aren't going to be updated. And now it's stuck in the past, locked away, so. A Splatoon rhythm game? Yes, that would be really good. They have put rhythm games in both of these games so far, I believe. I also want Squid Jump to come back. Not even as, like, in the main game, like, even just, like, a free game through My Nintendo, and you just get Squid Jump. Please, Nintendo, bring Squid Jump back. It's so good.
I'm surprised they haven't made that a mobile game yet, because that'd be perfect.
It would, yeah. Well, it gave you something to do while you were just sitting here waiting. Like, I get it, you couldn't have it, like, the TV and, like, the Wii U pad made it possible to have it, like, separate screen, but honestly, you could just make, like, the waiting for player list smaller and, like, put all this UI, squish it around, and have plenty of space to put Squid Jump on there.
Trying to record those gamepad minigames for when I played the first game, that was easily the most uncomfortable I've ever been trying to record a video, because I had to be in a really dark room so they wouldn't reflect off the screen, and I had the gamepad on top of a bunch of books so they'd be lined up with the camera, and I had my arms wrapped up around the stand that the camera was on while I was hunched over so I could actually see the screen. I just sit there for like half an hour. It was so uncomfortable. Never ever again.
Yeah, that is the problem with the Wii U, is that there is currently no way to record gameplay footage of the gamepad. Like with the DS and the 3DS, you can get it to record both screens, and in emulators you can have it be both screens on the same page. But they haven't figured out how to do it for the Wii U yet, and honestly I don't think there's a big enough want for it at this point in time because of how much of a failure the Wii U ended up being.
Yeah. There was only really like 2 games that I had to get a Wii U gamepad capture card for. Tokyo Mirage Assassins and maybe Xenoblade X. But Tokyo Mirage Assassins is already on Switch anyway, and it's much better on Switch than it was on Wii U. And Xenoblade X, I don't think the gamepad information on that one's enough to spend like $500 on a secondhand gamepad capture card that might not even work.
Yeah. See, what I predict is that in about 10 or so years, when the Wii U is completely defunct and difficult to get a console, because let's face it, that gamepad's not going to last very long, especially with how popular the Wii U was among younger children, unlike with the Switch, where there is a good user base of adults and older kids who take care of their stuff. And the Wii U gamepad had a ton of problems in and of itself, just hardware-wise, where they just break and whatever. So I think in about 10 years, when, like, that group of, like, people born in 2007 who are, like, in middle school for the Wii U, when they become adults and they want to emulate the games that they played as a kid, then we'll see a boom in Wii U emulation, and I think at that point they'll figure out a way to emulate both screens, like with the DS, in a way that makes sense.
The Wii U gamepad, I liked it when the Wii was still around. I still like it for that matter. It's still really fun to play things like Batman Arkham City with it, but the gamepad was just very problematic.
It was just kind of gimmicky, and honestly, in retrospect, feels more like a market test for the Switch than an actual console. Which in a way it was, because it was supposed to be the Switch type thing, and they couldn't get the technology finished in time.
If the gamepad was portable, the Wii U would have done so much better.
Yes. Oh yeah, that's the only reason why the Switch took off the way it did, was because it's portable.
Yeah, it's like, if some of your games are getting ported to Switch, they're gonna have not as good graphics as they would get on PS4 or something like that. But at the same time, most people are getting those Switch ports anyway, just for the sake of having it portable.
Yeah. Think there's
that's a bigger
emulators? Yeah, there are Wii U emulators, but a lot of the modded Breath of the Wild you see is actually just a hacked Wii U. The problem with the Wii U emulators is that there's no reliable way to emulate the Wii U screen and retain its touchscreen compatibility. It's similar to the problems they had with the 3DS emulation.
One of my favorite uses of the Wii U gamepad, aside from Splatoon with the map and things like that, I really liked how they did it until Camera Assassins, because they basically turned the Wii U gamepad into a smartphone. So you could like text your party members and things like that.
Yeah.
That's still there on the Switch version, but it's not nearly as immersive.
Yeah.
I do think the gamepad is a good idea, having some kind of second display on hand to give it some information. I think Microsoft tried that a little bit with the Xbox Smart Glass, but that didn't take off. But I think the idea could work if they could figure out more unique ideas to go with it.
Mm-hmm. Well, and part of the problem with it being a touchscreen is that it's going to get obviously touched and smeared and scratched and break. And then if it does, those things do happen to it, your controller no longer works.
Yeah, it's also
it's also harder to repair on your own, meaning you have to send it in. And with the Wii U touchpad, you could only ever have one connected to your console, meaning if you sent in your controller to get fixed, you effectively don't have access to your console that entire time.
Yeah.
Like, you can't even go to the Wii Virtual Console mode of the Wii U without the Wii U touchpad.
Mm-hmm. One other thing with the Wii U touchscreen is that another big problem with it is that the touchscreen is single touch, meaning it's how that one handles touch controls is that there are little lasers under the glass layer of the screen, and whenever those lasers get interfered by something touching it. That's what triggers the controls. But with those style of screens, you have to push this down on the screen just a little bit more than you would on a smartphone. So because you're putting down just a little bit more pressure than you would on a modern screen, then that's going to lead to more damaged screens down the line because you're going to get things like scratches and stuff like that.
Yeah, and that pressure on those LEDs and such in there is going to put strain on the image rendering bits of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just an all-around not the greatest idea for a kid's console. It works in the moment, but down the line, who knows how much it'll work. Like the Nintendo 64, kind of, it's so hard to find a working controller that's actually a Nintendo brand.
I'm so thankful that I have a working one.
Oh yeah, I have two that completely work from when I was a kid. But... And like with the Wii, it's pretty hard to find a controller that the sensor still works and that the motion control still works. Like if you're looking for secondhand, like thrift stores and eBay and whatnot. It's just one of those things the Wii U is going to be, is that if you didn't have one back in the day that you kept care of, it's going to be increasingly hard to find a working one. Because again, the console doesn't work without the touchpad. Whereas the Wii, you can just find a controller. If you just have the console bit, it's fine, just find a controller. There's more controllers than there are consoles, but with the Wii U, there's more consoles than there are controllers. Because the controllers are going to break faster.
Yeah, I just know that within like 10 or 20 years or so, the Wii U is going to be like one of the most valuable Nintendo systems ever.
Yeah, because it didn't sell well and it didn't last long.
One gaming thing I got recently that I was super proud of finding was the Game Boy player for the GameCube. Because it is really tough. The Game Boy player itself is easy to find, but the disc to start the thing is... Ugh.
Yep.
I don't want to go into how much of a pain it was to find, but I finally found it, and that's all that matters.
Yeah. Well, and because of the security systems of the GameCube and the size of the disc, you can't just burn a new copy of it.
I believe there are mods out there that you can like install the code from the disc onto the Game Boy player itself if you know what you're doing, but it's very risky to do that.
Yeah, and they're already old and hard to find and expensive, so unless you really know what you're doing, you're taking a pretty big risk.
Oh, something funny that I want to do is that I have the Game Boy Advance version of Earthbound, so I want to be all like, I want to make a video where it's showing that running on the Game Boy player, and I'll be like, man, it took forever and it cost a fortune, but I finally got Earthbound on my TV. But then somebody points to Earthbound on the Wii U on another TV.
There you go. You don't need a sensor bar for the Wii. I saw a video of a person lighting two candles and allowed the pointer to still work because the bar just outputs two lights that the remote looks for. Yeah, that is true. You don't actually need the sensor bar, which is why the Bluetooth ones, quote unquote, work. They don't actually have any Bluetooth in them. They just emit a light. I actually did that when I was at my friend Hannah's house recently because we wanted to play Wii together, but we couldn't find the sensor bar. And so we just lit candles and stuck them next to the TV and it worked. But then we couldn't get the game to load for some reason.
The funny thing about the sensor bar is the cord that connects it to the Wii, that doesn't actually transfer the signal to the Wii console itself because that signal is wireless.
Oh yeah,
the cord only charges the sensor bar.
In the controller.
So, here's something I want to ask you.
Killjoy.
Did you know that the Wii U gamepad has a sensor bar built in?
Yes.
Never mind. Just trying to impress you.
Trust me, if there's a video game fact, especially about the Nintendo hardware, I know what it is.
Let's test this. What's a fun fact I can ask you about? I'm drawing a complete blank. I can't think of anything right now. Like, most of the things I'm thinking of are things I heard from digital gaming videos, but you probably watched those more than I did.
Yeah, I love digital gaming.
Inkblot Art Academy. So I was thinking after a couple more matches, right?
Oh, I accidentally hit the home button.
After a couple more matches, you want to play some Summon Run for a bit?
Sure.
Sweet.
Should still be open.
In terms of multiplayer stuff, there's two things I really wish they do in Splatoon 3. So, if Summon Run returns, I hope it stays open forever. And if for whatever reason they're doing the same online rotation thingy where it changes every few hours, I hope that doesn't return. I hope they have some kind of better workaround for that. But if that does return, I hope they have, like, let's say 2 ranked battle modes available at a time, because it's kind of obnoxious when you have however many ranked battle modes they have and you have to wait a few hours for the good one to return.
Yeah. Blue Slushy says, did you know that Nintendo is actually short for Nintendo Miter? I know this is incorrect. I am very gullible. So if you had been able to convince me of it, I probably would have been easily convinced. However, there is no word in Japanese that ends in an R sound, and Nintendo was founded in the 1800s before the Americanization of Japan occurred. So therefore, I know that's incorrect. Nice try, though. You almost had
Do you know what they were called when they were? You know what they were called when they were a trading card company?
Nintendo.
You're half right. They had another name.
It was like Nintendo of Kyoto.
When they were a trading card company, they briefly went by Nintendo Kopai.
Yes. Yeah, they actually had like licensed Disney cards back in the day. One of my fun facts to tell people that sounds like it's wrong, but it actually isn't, is that Nintendo is older than the moving picture. I like to just say random things though and try and convince people that it's true. I tried to convince a group of middle schoolers in Sea of Thieves that off my train of thought. I tried to convince a group of middle schoolers in Sea of Thieves that there is actually 51 states because Canada was ratified as a state in 2012, but it was covered up. Like, I almost had him. Another time I said that I just completely said, like, nonchalantly that the Earth revolves around the moon. It's Nintendo Miter is short for Nintendo Mito Ramono. Well, that gets 0 results on Google, so something tells me that's wrong.
What if they covered it up?
See, this is how gullible I am, because those are all Japanese phrases. It might not. No, that gets 0 results. See, that's how gullible I am. I legitimately had to look it up to double check. Darn it.
I like how your video thumbnail is still the fish picture.
Yeah, I just like that fish picture. It's from, like, the Twitter scientific illustrations that look like shitposts. It's from some university book or something from, like, the 20s.
Yeah.
I legitimately want to get that fish tattooed, though. It's such a cute fish. Oh, I didn't intend for it to sound Japanese. I just typed random junk. Well, Japanese alphabet is syllabic, not phonetic like English is. So it always starts in a consonant sound. It always ends in a vowel sound, except for n. But not very many words end in n. And sometimes it can just be a vowel, like a, I, U, E, O. So they're all just vowels. But that's the basics of how it works.
One more thing about the fish real quick. That fish picture reminds me of this thingy. You know those things where it's like a fish that you hang on a wall, but you push the button and it turns to you to start singing? Yeah.
Those are terrible.
That's what that picture reminds me of sometimes.
Terrible. No, he's just a cute little fishy. He's just living his life. He's fine. He's just a fish. He just feels fine. There's nothing more to him.
In Super Paper Mario, if you use Dippy to Tattle on a Cheep, she'll say something along the lines of, "There's not much to say about it. It's a fish."
Cheeps are so cute.
Yeah. I was playing Super Paper Mario earlier, and I was at the point where you're in Francis's castle, and those cat robot thingies are asking you questions.
The maid cat robots.
Yeah. And one of them was, "You've bought video games before that you haven't played yet." And when I saw that again, I was like, oh my god, what have I become?
I mean, I've done that too, because I got like a bunch of like PlayStation games, like PlayStation 2 games at a yard sale one time because they were like free. But I also have a bunch of games on Steam that I've never played. Like 99% of my Steam library. Mostly because I get things when they're free or part of a Humble Bundle where there's one game that I want. Oh my gosh, I hit 300 subscribers.
Yay!
I'm actually at 304. When did that happen? Cool.
304. Oh, that makes me happy.
How many have you got? 337?
The number 304 is kind of like a running joke with my family, but it's a bit of a long story. It's probably not best time to tell that right now.
Oh my gosh, there's somebody who's a higher level than me. Your name is Yui. Wait, no, that's not it. That's
Let's
not
take
you,
them
that's
down.
Looks Asian to me.
May. Your name is May. Wait, you're supposed to play the games you buy? I know, right? It's so weird. There are only 9 levels above me. That person's name is B Meru. My name is Pi, and then that other bit just says Pi.
My name is L8RG8R2U, but the spelling is a bunch of letters and numbers mixed together, and it's stupid. But I've had this username for 9 years. I'm not changing it now.
Oh, you uploaded a video on the YouTube.
Oh, it's midnight. Okay. So I know this is a horrible upload time, but I upload video. My videos are scheduled to go public at midnight because when I first started making videos, I always liked seeing if anybody watched it overnight. And so far, so good, kind of. So what I do is I schedule it for midnight, and then the tweet promoting it goes up at 12 p.m.
Blue Slushy has 21 subs for some reason. That is weird. Okay, what I don't know is why I can't just click on, like, the users in the chat and go to their YouTube channel. There's actually no way to do it that I found. Because I was gonna go see if I was subscribed to you. But I'll have to do it later.
Yeah, it's weird that it's weird that they do that. One thing that drives me crazy with YouTube is they didn't used to do this, but when you try to upload a video, it shows all the files on your folder rather than just the video files. But when you go into the thumbnail, it only shows the pictures. So
I haven't really noticed that. 'Cause I don't ever choose a thumbnail. I just let it choose for me because I'm too lazy.
Yeah.
Let me comment. Oh, we were gonna switch to Salmon Run.
Oh, right. After this one?
Okay. I'll have to remember. I have only updated memes, but I want to make actual content soon. Go for it. You'd be really good at it.
Yeah.
You could do, like, animatics. I feel like you'd be really good at that.
Randomaniacs. Those are the
cute.
facts.
Yeah, my channel's called Gaming with Pi, but actually most of the stuff I upload is just fish videos and art streams. I did do a gaming video uploaded last night, though. I'd made a Sims video. It has no commentary or sound at all because I couldn't find my royalty-free music folder on my computer until after I uploaded it. But I did do a thing. It's just a speed build of a house I made in The Sims that's entirely green because I don't know, I just wanted to make it green.
One thing I really want to try to do, if I can ever remember to do this, is I want to make a speed paint of my channel icons. Because I think that'd be fun, but at the same time, those icons usually go through months of trial and error before I'm happy with it. So I don't know how much fun that'd actually be to watch.
She says, I could do those. I was thinking more like video essays and reviews. Ooh, you could do that too. Or even like a reaction thing. That would be really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish
Basically,
I did more YouTube content. It's just between drawing for my webcomic, school, and like the few hours of day that I spend playing games and like just decompressing. Like, I don't really don't really have the time for it or the energy. Like I sleep like 20 hours a day, I swear.
Yeah, and
Don't understand it.
dang it! Okay, backing out real quick. Don't penalize me.
Annika noticed
yay.
and turned the volume all the way up and shrugged. Notice what?
And yay, they get to see the games I was playing earlier today. But, yeah, I've been making videos for so long that I've gotten into a good pattern of, like, binge editing a bunch of videos. Because I only upload 4 videos a week.
Maybe I should put on shoes.
Might be a good idea.
Oh, I haven't worn shoes in so long in this game. Look at my little bare feet. Look at them. They're just feet.
I usually don't like bare feet, but on my Octoling, she looks kind of cute.
I really like these shoes, but I don't have the chunks to, like, make them better. I like them because they're, like, they make you tall. I like those ones. See, if I don't have my run-up chunks on them, though, there's, like, I don't like wearing them. Anything else, let's just run up. Let's swim speed up. Oh, the lack of sound on my last game post. Yeah, it's because I'm lazy. These ones are really cute. Oh, I'm so polyclinic. Well, they have like square toes and fingers. Just as part of the canon. I'll wear these ones for a bit. But you can't get rid of my horns. Not even to put a fishy on my head.
I'm gonna take a selfie with your Octoling.
Okay.
Hey, selfie.
Another fishy. Another
I just love my
worms. I'm just not gonna let you talk. I'm just gonna keep saying stuff. Okay.
What I was gonna say was I love my Octoling because she's super adorable and stuff.
Ah, yeah, she is very cute.
Alright, the room has been opened.
Looks like she says, how more time in hands to YouTube because I quit my job 2 days and they're rude and kind of ableist. Oh, that sucks. I quit my job recently too, but it was for a completely different reason. Just gotta write scripts. I never write scripts. I'm like the opposite of Gator because he like plans his stuff out and I'm just like, hey, I don't know what I'm going to do today. I haven't even loaded the game up. I don't even know if this game's going to load. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, okay, so if you want to know how crazy I am, one of my current Let's Plays on the channel, Breath of the Wild, that's a very well-known game for being absolutely massive. I spent 2.5 years writing a 400-page document going over 100% of that game so that I could do a Let's Play of it. And on top of that, the Let's Play is interactive, meaning that you can watch the Let's Play in any order that you want, because the idea is that watching the Let's Play would be as open as playing the game yourself. Yeah, I'm a little crazy when it comes to making things like that.
See, you and I are both crazy, was it? But we're on the complete opposite ends of like the craziness spectrum because you plan everything out and I just do not ever. Why is the friend T in this game if that logo hasn't been used since the Wii U? That doesn't make sense. It's not even the friend logo in this console. You're more like modern Let's Players who do more reactionary content. Gator's more like... Gator reminds me a lot of Suga Conroy. I don't know who that is. He reminds me a lot of like old school Peanut Butter Gamer. I'm just looking at clothes.
I think that's a huge compliment. Thank you very much. Chuck Conroy is one of my favorite Let's Players ever.
Look at this emote. It was just send tweet. Eels.
There was somebody in the plaza earlier who made a drawing about it being their birthday, so I did the yeah thing on it.
Oh yeah, that's the eel person in it. With friends.
That'd be a fun thing to do in Splatoon 3, have the opposite to have birthdays. 5555.
Oh. Well, I typed in 0000.
How could you?
I don't like that you can lose your rank in this, but you can't get a promotion if you're playing with friends. Like, you fail, guess what? You're fired. Oh, you did way good? Too bad, I can't help you out. It's like the real world, and I don't like it.
So I just noticed, because it's after midnight, it's no longer pie day. I'm sad now. I didn't get to have a pie. But, okay, this is very silly, but in 2015, on Pie Day, my family got, like, the biggest pie ever, and it was awesome.
Sometimes Fred Meyer puts all their pies on sale for $3.14 on Pie Day. I think that's very poggers of him. But I didn't go to Fred Meyer today.
Yeah.
Die. Okay, in Sea of Thieves, there's a Megalodon. And if I get really excited and, like, I'm trying to, like, talk really fast, every single time I call it Moz. I know they're not the same thing, but it's like, oh, big fish, you want to eat me? It's Moz.
It's exactly the same, but totally different.
Don't run your salmon car into me. You're so rude. I forgot that I don't have my bomb ink up. One of your videos hit 2K views. That's really cool.
Nice.
Still Pie Day for gaming. Yeah, it's always Pie Day. What are you talking about?
It's Pie Day, Pie Day, Pie Day.
Oh dear. Oh no.
Was I the only person who actually liked that song?
I don't know. Man, remember the glitch where you could, like, stand out in the middle of the ocean on this level? That was so cool. I wish they never patched
I never got to do that one. I think that...
Yeah, they patched it right after people found out about it, but, like, it was so fun. I loved seeing random people's, like, reactions to just seeing me standing in the middle of the ocean spamming "come here." Then they just, like, turn around, turn to find me, and then they just, like, are standing on the shore, like, what the heck?
Yeah.
Great, I tied.
There was one time I was trying to show my sister the out of bounds glitch in the first game, and it took me like half an hour to get it right, and then I gave her the controller. She immediately walked off the ledge, and was trying to stop her, but she just kept going. And
I used to
the-
hang out like on the back side of Camp Triggerfish, behind the
Yeah.
spawn. Because you used to be able to, as you fall, ink the wall and then climb back up it. In this, you can still do that in it. It was never patched, but in Splatoon 2, in Camp Triggerfish, that area of the wall is not inkable. As for Tumblr blog, that might be it. I posted a video last March about something that Zucker had said in Animal Crossing, and I don't know why, but all of a sudden it's gotten like a ton of traction, and it's gotten like 3K views in like a day, and I'm like, what the heck? But the thing is, people keep
Nice.
commenting on it, which isn't bad, but I keep getting YouTube notifications throughout the day, and I'm like, oh, did somebody, I have notifications on upload something? And no, it's just somebody commenting on it, and I'm like, that's weird. Like, how do people who actually like are really successful on YouTube, how did they keep up with all their comment notifications?
They don't.
I guess, or maybe they have it turned off so it doesn't notify you. I don't know.
I think my most popular video is this one I uploaded recently for Mario Sunshine. The Watermelon Festival level, I know 2 shortcuts to make it a lot easier, and those ones got really popular.
Splattershot Jr.
I see you. Ah, wait, that was my butt. Sorry. I feel kind of bad.
Remember where the rest of my team is. I'm just doing whatever the heck I want. Which apparently right now is dying. Oh no, there's only one person alive. Rescue me. Rescue me.
Help.
Thank you.
Help.
Ah! Dang it. We all died.
Gosh, started all to.
Hey, but it's 3-14. At least it was in the 3rd round, so we don't lose any, like, of our rank or anything. Is my goldfish missing an eyeball? No, he has both of them, okay. I just look over and it looked like it was gone. Sometimes my other fish attack the goldfishes, so I have to be careful about it.
I feel bad for attacking the Seminoids now, considering you'll be able to keep one as a pet in Splatoon 3.
What?
Hey! Yeah, boy, this is not a good spot. Not a good spot. Yee! Button mash! That didn't work. Okay. Super concentration mode activate.
Yeah, you can tell if I'm concentrating because I'm just not talking at all. I can't talk and play Splatoon. Like, I can talk and play a lot of games. Not Splatoon.
Yeah. Probably the only reason why I can do that is that I have like 9 years of Let's Play experience.
Maybe.
But, yeah. This isn't the easiest game in the world to commentate over, though.
There's just so much going on at one point in time.
Ah! Rapid Blaster. I don't like blaster weapons. They are weird and smell funny.
Shaking my controllers randomly about and my character's just going insane over here.
You know what's one thing I sometimes have difficulty when it comes to commentating? So, like, I think you mentioned this before, how you do the same thing too, but when I get excited, I flap my arms a lot, and I can sometimes trigger mouse controls.
Yep.
Uh,
Yeah, sometimes I just have to put the controller down for a second and just like... It'll go away in a second. I can't help it.
Yeah, so if my camera ever suddenly goes like this, then, well, now you know what I do. That was especially hard to do when I was trying to do Space Skyward Sword.
And right here, heal you.
I'll save you, buddy, old pal!
Thank you.
Owie!
He died. Rest in peace. Sometimes I swear I can still hear him talk.
Yeah! Yeah! Oh, that was so close. I thought for sure we were gonna make that one.
Yeah, I think I put the final egg in like with 1 second left on the clock.
I saved a video clip even though we're streaming onto YouTube. Ah! Hello there. Ha ha ha. Okay. I don't remember their name, but the one that you attack to make their vehicle stop moving for a second, that's one of my favorite boss summon to fight.
I like the steel eel because it's really cool. I don't remember what the guy is called. Scrapper, I think? Oh, you know that things are getting real when your video quality drops to like 420p or 480, whatever it is, because there's so many things on the screen. Oh dear, you're the only one alive. Thank you.
Yeah! Who's the man, huh? Who's the man? Bring it on!
You're not the one who rescued me. What are you talking about? Oh my goodness, I'm gonna die.
Yay!
We did it.
Whee!
Have some bombs.
Airborne Pippi needs another room. I really hope I didn't wake her up. Isn't the Octoling girl just the cutest thing ever?
No, Rice is cuter. What are you talking about?
Speaking of cute things, one of my favorite details in Breath of the Wild is that Riju, her throne, her throne has a booster seat.
I know, right? She's so little, especially for Gerudo. She's just little. Because most Gerudo are like 5 feet tall when they're in their teenage years.
Mm-hmm.
And like that's even considered tall, short. But but she's shorter than 5 feet because Breath of the Wild Link is 5'2". So she is baby.
Yeah. She's my favorite character in that game. She's just so adorable, and she's so awesome because, she helps you go into the Divine Base and things like that.
She's good at surfing.
I guess spoilers are quick for Age of Calamity, so if you don't want spoilers for that for a moment, just
go
click
away.
away for like 10 minutes.
Get out of here. We don't want you here. No.
Yeah. Fair warning for Age of Calamity, but like I already knew about that moment, but actually seeing it in game and Riju appear, that made me so happy. And like she's my favorite character to play as in that game.
My favorite character to play as in that is actually probably Impa.
Impa's pretty cool too.
Yeah, I pretty much like 100% beat everything in it, so now I'm just waiting if they ever update it, and I'll play the update, I guess.
They announced that there's DLC coming.
Oh, nice. See, I don't keep up to date on stuff because I don't watch the Nintendo Directs. Like, if it's not showing up on my Tumblr feed, it doesn't exist. That's how I gauge what's important in the world. Did it show up on my Tumblr feed? No, not important. I jest, of
Note
course,
yourself.
but, like...
Note to self, when I make a game, Tumblr is all I need to promote it.
There you go, yeah.
But like one of my favorite things to see in Age of Calamity is Lionel's are such a big threat in Breath of the Wild, but then you have cute little Riju with Patricia, and she's just completely destroying a Lionel.
Yes.
You got to bow summoned and come and do your job. I don't wanna.
You don't control me. Maybe I'll just stand in the corner doing nothing like most of my coworkers. Ow, I fell on the ground.
So you know how most people, when they come home from work, they complain about their boss and things like that?
Yeah.
Who does the boss complain to?
Boss just complains about his workers, probably.
You're like, man, these people were complaining all day about having to come into work on a Saturday. How dare they?
I actually never really interacted with my boss very much. He just sat in his office, unless he needed to reprimand me for, like, clocking back in from lunch 15 seconds late, which is a legitimate thing that he called me into his office to talk to me about.
That's silly.
Stupid.
It's only 15 seconds.
I know. He goes, it's not enough that I can actually, like, do anything about it, but I did want to talk to you about it because it's one thing leads to another, and this could set a standard for coming in even later. And I'm like, well, how late was I? And he goes, 15 seconds. And it's like, okay.
I mean, I guess I could understand if you're like maybe like a minute or two late, but like 15 seconds, like come on.
Well, even that,
That's-
like,
that-
I have
that's
to
a-
go all the
that's-
way out to my car and then back inside for lunch break. Like, if there's customers walking around, they will not move out of the way to let me into the store. And sometimes it takes like 5 minutes just to get through the doorway. And it's like, yeah, sure, I should like adjust my time leaving the car to get back to work accordingly, but it's like luck of the draw pretty much. And I don't want to get back to work 10 minutes early and then just stand there when I could still be like eating lunch. Good night, Blue Slushy. Sleep well.
Yeah. Bye. Thank you for coming.
No. I keep missing that jump.
Arr!
I'm so asleep that I thought Blue Slushy leaving meant that we only had 3 people on our team now. And I was like, oh, this is gonna be more hard.
Yeah, I think we're gonna make this one. Oh, maybe.
Yeah, we
maybe.
did.
Yeah! Oh yeah! Dude, that was so epic.
Yeah. I think that's probably a good place to not continue to play, given that my cognitive function is so bad. Oh, we got 69 eggs. Cool. Cognitive function is so bad.
Sorry, I'm giggly.
I am very mature.
Okay. Alright, good place to call quits.
Yeah. I'll go work more on my comic.
Alright, so thank you all so much for watching tonight's Gator stream. Yeah, and thank you so much, Pi, for joining us. It's always a pleasure having you on the channel.
Yee, thanks for having me. I'm gonna go squid flop on your character. Where are you? There you go. That's not you.
Now there's video
There
evidence
you are.
of...
Squid flop all over you. You're talking to this person? No, you're not. I'm gonna squid flop on you. It took him more time to reprimand you than you were late. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Thank you all so much for watching. On Tuesday will be the first episode of Splatoon 2 Splatfest, where Pi will be performing voice acting work, so that's going to be super awesome. So, thank you all so much for watching, and next time, Lady Gear to you. Oh, yeah.
Bye.